Dai Zimbabwe. Nakumana tikashinga, vasikana tikashinga. Vechidiki tikashinga, vanamai tikashinga.
Nyika yasununguka, tikashinga. Nyika yasununguka, tikashinga.
Vanamai mukashinga, vanamai mukashinga.
Nyika yasununguka,
mukashinga.
Nyika yasununguka, mukashinga.
Vakomana tikashinga isu, vakomana tikashinga.
Nyika yasununguka, tikashinga. Nyika yasununguka, tikashinga.
Tikasungwa tikashinga isu, tikarowa tikashinga isu.
Nyika yasununguka,
tikashinga.
Nyika yasununguka, tikashinga.
Vanamai mukasungwa ine, vanamai mukarowa ine.
Nyika yasununguka, nyika yasununguka,
kuchipinge mukashinga ine, kwamutoko mukashinga ine.
Nyika yasununguka,
mukashinga.
nyika yasununguka, mukashinga.
Good morning, good afternoon, Zimbabwe. Makadi muri Zimbabwe yakateerera. Tangatarova. Regai titange nekuti makorokota egore inzwana vanoti mwaka omusha. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy New Year, Zimbabweans. Happy 2024. I know 2024 is going to bring new things, better things, bigger things. And we said we are going to start right away from the first so that we start talking about issues that we need to talk about. Today, we want to talk about a very serious issue that is happening on social media, news that we are seeing every day, every time. It's disheartening. Some of the things that you read are so disheartening. We want to talk about that, and we also want to hear what you think about the news that is awash on social media. But before we get into the gist of everything, let me greet my partner in crime, Antaguziva Barbara. Again say Christmas, again say New Year, Makorokote Goreza. Wow. And then she disappeared. Or is it me?
No, she's there, but she's on mute.
Okay. Simba Mkandatsama, thank you so much for joining Makorokoto Egoreza. Joyce Makorokoto. We are now in 2024. Ayanda, we just want to talk about this state of our affairs in Zimbabwe, what is going on in Zimbabwe, what we can do, what the citizens are supposed to do, what the leadership is supposed to do, and what you and me are supposed to do. But amidst all that, we also want to deal with the issue that we are seeing every day on social media. We are seeing people posting news. It's called breaking news. You look at the handle, you also look at the media house, you don't even know it, you've never seen it, and it's breaking good news, seemingly good news, heavy news, something that would stop the internet, something that would stop even the world. Because if you hear people talking about another election that is coming in Zimbabwe, you hear people talking about the SADC elders that would have set and made resolutions pertaining to Zimbabwe, and you think, oh my goodness, our problems are solved. My problems disappear. Welcome back, Barbara. Zimbabwe UK.
Yebo Chief Soshe kunjani? Linjani mthwakazi omuhle emagumbini amane omhlaba. Sisithi phela umnyaka omutsha, happy new year. Kini lonke mthwakazi omuhle. 2024 sesingenile, esithemba ukuthi liphilile elingabe lapho likhona. Lisitshele phela ukuthi lisibona singaphi, siphendukile njalo umnyaka ka2024 sigqiba umnyaka ka2023. Uhlelo Padare namambotshoshe edale lenduna yakoshoshe kumbe enkundleni lenduna yakoshoshe lisitshele phela ukuthi lisiqhuma lingaphi. Sisakaza siku-Change Radio, umsakazo ngokwawo, Change Radio YouTube, Change Radio Facebook, ZimEye lakwamanye ama-channels. Lisitshele ukuthi liyasizwa yini kahle kahle. Indaba esibuye ngayo namhla, sibuye ngendaba propaganda Zanu PF. Zanu PF ikhuluma indaba ezingayisizo, besebenzisa labantu abatsha ukuthi baspread indaba ezingayisizo. So thina umsebenzi wethu njengomsakazo we-Change Radio yikulipha uhlelo kumbe ikulipha indaba eziliqiniso kumbe singathi ngesikhiwa credible news. Siyazikhulumela thina sodwa, thina abantu be-CCC. Yikho President Nelson Chamisa wathi hatithi iskwi tinoyithathega. So sibuye ukuthi sizolitshela lapho ukuthi siyazenzela thina senzelwa. Indaba zethu siyazikhulumela, kasikhulunyelwa ngabanye abantu, kasikhulunyelwa iZBC. Ngoba siyakwazi ukuthi iZBC ungabona sikhuluma ngokwe-CCC iyabe ikhuluma indaba ezingayisizo. Chief, ungene njani umnyaka lo ka2024? Ngiyakwazi ukuthi 2023 kwakungumnyaka okwakumele ulethe uzibuse ebantwaneni beZimbabwe, kodwa phela August siyakwazi okwenzakalayo. Siyakwazi ukuthi khona umnankagwa watshontsha ama-votes, siyakwazi ukuthi khona ama-elections ayengekho free and fair, siyakwazi ukuthi iSADC yakhuluma ukuthi ama-elections were not free and fair. Amanye amazwe EU bakhuluma ukuthi ama-elections were not free and fair. So yinto eyazakalayo le ukuthi kungani abantwana beZimbabwe singakafiki lapho esifuna ukuya khona ngenxa yokuthi ama-elections atshontshwa. Endithemba ukuthi liyizwile le ingoma kaWinky D, anzi awuna kuwina wakabvuta. Tinoda kumboruridza rumwe rwaWinky D nhasi pano. Anzi Winky D chibaba Chief igafa, anzi awuna kuwina wakabvuta. Takaona varume vakuru wakudikitira, hanzi Winky D aimbirei. Kana akuda kuita zvepolitics ngaatiudze asiyane nesu. But vari kukangaona kuti wana Chinks Chingaira, wana Thomas Mapfumo, wana Oliver Mtukudzi, wana Karikoga vaiimba zvepolitics, but wachiimba maringe nekuda kusunungura nyika yeZimbabwe iyo yatiri nhasi isina kusununguka. Saka zviri kuitwa naWinky D ndo zvaiitwa naChinks Chingaira. So ngavasiyane naWinky D. Ndati tingozvibatanidza Chief nokuti Winky D muyouth ari kuspreada nhau dzakanaka, asi kune mamwe mayouth ari kushandiswa kuspreada nhau dzisina kunaka. Over to you, Chief.
Yes, and we want those youth that are spreading, good news that is true, that is authentic. Barbara, what prompted me to want to talk about this, it's one of my mothers in Zimbabwe. She sent me an audio. She has been sending me messages, and a few days ago, she sent me a message saying, "Ko naita wanangu, ko Chamisa adi kutaura namunanga, adi kutaura neSADC. Varegedza kuuya muna Juni. Pavanozosvika muna Juni, vanhu vanenge vapera kufa. Ngaaite kuti my elections aitwe muna February." Can you imagine, Barbara? my mother is sincerely believing that there is another election that is coming in June, and she's actually saying June kwaita kure dai chamisa ataura neSADC yaita kuti ma-elections iwayo aitwe muna February. Ndikavabvunza kuti nai mukuzviona kupi, zvikanzi handisi kuswera zvakazara pasocial media, handiti SADC yakataura kuti ma-elections ngaaitwe zvakare, ikati ngaaitwe muna June. Isu tiri kuti June kwaita kure. Unoziva, my heart just sank. It broke my heart. And I've seen so many stories that are coming out on social media, on WhatsApp group, on WhatsApp, you just hear breaking news. SADC elders have ordered Mnangagwa to hand over power to Chamisa. SADC elders have said there should be a rerun of elections in Zimbabwe. That's what we want. That is what I want. That is what every Zimbabwean wants. And the point of this discussion is not to burst your bubble, but the point is for us to understand what is going on in our country and know what we are facing or what we have to do without building castles in the air. Right now, everyone is sincerely believing that SADC is going to come in and resolve Zimbabwean issues and order a rerun of elections. Do you really see that happening? I want to talk to the people that are here. Please let us know what you're thinking right in the comment section. Is that realistic? Kana tikuda kungosimbisana, tichisimbisana, tichipusha kusvika tasvika 2028. And who is behind that fake news? Who is writing that fake news? And what are they trying to achieve by so doing? In Barbara, I sincerely believe that the manufacturer of this fake news is Zanu PF themselves. They want to give false hope to the people of Zimbabwe. And then we run away from the things that we are supposed to be doing. Instead of planning what we need to do to make sure that we fight the shame elections that we had in 2023. We are not focused on that. We are not thinking about that. We are not talking about that because Zanu PF and its surrogates and Zanu PF youth and some youth that are just being given money are busy spreading, fake news, telling the people that you don't have to do anything. SADC is coming. SADC is going to order a fresh election in Zimbabwe. I don't get it. I don't get it. When things were heating up immediately after the 2023 election, SADC did what it did. They did their part. They played their part. And I want to salute them. I want to thank SADC for what they did. So this is not something that is, that means to demean SADC. They did their part. Hichilema did his part. Did we do our part as Zimbabweans? So if we think SADC is going to come and win the war for us and win this struggle for us, I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It's not going to happen. This is our struggle. It is us who have to be leading from the front. It is the Zimbabwean citizens. It is the people of Zimbabwe who have to go out there and confront the regime and ensure that we force another election, an early election, we force negotiations. And right now, I don't see anything that is happening that is going to force Emmerson Mnangagwa to do anything. And without that force, without that push from the citizens, from us, from you and me, stop pointing a finger at anyone. Stop pointing a finger at President Chamisa or the leadership. We are talking about us, Zimbabwe, us, the citizens. We have to do something ourselves for the world to come in and help us, for SADC to come in and help us. To think that SADC is just going to wake up one day and say, there is a new Zimbabwe, there is a new great Zimbabwe, to you, the people of Zimbabwe. Barbara, do you see that happening?
That's very unfortunate what these people are doing. Chief, half the time when I see these links, I go to these channels, and I ask them questions. Where are you getting all this? Where are you getting all this information that we don't have? You know, and I'm glad, Chief Kuti, Zimbabwean people are not gullible like we think. There's this person who is commenting. I think he is watching from our YouTube channel. Who is saying Kuti George Sharamba is the mastermind of these. Is the one who is propagating these cheap. Cheap propaganda. And Erisha M. George Charamba is funding these YouTubers to spread cheap Stone Age propaganda. Yes, I agree with this. So people are not gullible, Chief. They are not foolish. They know exactly that these things that these people. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
I don't know what's happening. Oh,
we can hear you.
okay, okay. I lost my screen. Okay, so they know that's cheap propaganda, and what these people are saying, they want to confuse people, because Sadak did a very good job, Chief, and denounced the elections to say they were not free and fair. And believe you me, Chief, these ZANU PF thugs, they are finding it difficult to run the country because everything, things are now getting tougher and tougher. Chief, what they promised, that's why they did not come up with a manifesto, because they knew people asked them, even if they did not come up with a manifesto, as a government that stole the election and thought they had a plan, they should fix the things instead of them talking about Chamisa. Every day they're talking about Nelson Chamisa as if Nelson Chamisa is the one who is leading this country. Chamisa is not anywhere near the government. He's not even in parliament. So I don't know why they keep on talking about Nelson Chamisa. They must now focus on developing the country. Ajibudi, Chief, development aibudi when people are majority of the people are disgruntled. There is no unity in the country. There is nothing. There's no money. Everything is just upside down. Workers are not being paid. People are suffering. So you can't talk of development. Yamusinga Goni, the bridges are falling. These heavy rains are achieved. They've also brought untold suffering for the poor people. I saw that bridge in Gokwe, that broke. People are now stranded. They can't go on the other side of Gokwe. So it's like everything is now on standstill. And we don't have that emergence, the disaster management. Atina, we don't have a formula. We have nothing to manage disaster in Zimbabwe. And yet we have people who claim to have won elections. We are a country with more than 60 minerals, that if one mineral, Chief, is managed well, it can take us somewhere. Look at Botswana. They only have got diamonds, but they are progressing. Or just look at us. We have those diamonds. We have gold. I want to mention a few minerals: diamond, gold, platinum, uranium. Those four, only four, Chief. Kana tikaita vanhu vari serious vanoda kugadzira nyika, within a year Zimbabwe inenge yadzokera panzvimbo. So it's very, very, very painful and unfortunate that we have people who still believe in ZANU PF, people, learned people that still believe in ZANU. And to make matters worse, this Chavangu thing, tikabva tisina kutaura nezvaChavangu, he is part of all this mess. When Chavangu came into play, it was also part of ZANU PF way of trying to destroy or destabilize CCC, trying to destroy President Nelson Chamisa. But believe you me, Chavangu is done and dusted. We are no longer going to talk about Chavangu. We don't even want to talk about Chavangu in 2024. We are not going to talk about him because he is now history. Monzora was even better than Chavangu, and now these people the Chabangu people, chief, they are now the chavari kuita, they are shouting at people because they know they don't have people. They are saying, you guys, you must not form another political party. If you form another political party, it will derail the struggle. I said, what? You can't talk of derailment of struggle when you guys are the same people that derailed the struggle. I don't know kuti wakazvinzwa nani kuti President Chamisa arikuda kufoma party. So vari kutya chief because vanoziva kuti kana president vakati takufoma imwe party vanosara vari pamhene, vachasara vanhu vakawanda vachasara. But I think sometimes kana kuri kuti ndizvo chief zvinogona kutibatsira in removing all these lies that we are seeing, and the Zanu PF will be left with nothing to spread. Chief, they would have to focus. We have to focus on developmental issues.
Yeah, sure. My sister Estela, Happy New Year. Kana musipo tabatana tuna kuona kuti muripo ndikuona ezo you are there but your picture is not there. Yange say New Year for Finland. Can you tell us your opinion here? We are trying to find out what many people think. Do you really think that we are going to have a fresh election in Zimbabwe in the next few months? I think you have also seen the news that is being spread around on WhatsApp and everywhere. What is your honest opinion?
Yes, I agree with the common opinion that most people are holding, that this is Zanu PF playing psychological games on the citizens. The idea, as you pointed out earlier, is to give us false hope so that we don't do anything to try and free ourselves, but instead we pin all our hopes on these fake news about fresh elections in June. Whilst they get enough time to loot, I actually think that Zanu PF do not expect to last until 2028. They really don't expect that they can stay in power until 2028. And I believe their plan right now is to loot as much as they can before they are kicked out. They are expecting that the Zimbabwean people are going to rise and they are going to be kicked out of power before 2028. And this is why they've put Mnangagwa's son in a strategic position and his other son in the army in a strategic position to allow them to loot as much as they can during this time that they are clinging to power. And so I think for us, we don't need to pay much attention to all this fake news which is being peddled, but let's actually let's strategize and let's not expose what our strategy is. Let us in the background work to remove Zanu when they least expect it. We could even pretend to believe that there is going to be a fresh election in June so that they are relaxed and they're not expecting anything. But whilst they are busy looting, focusing their attention on looting, because they have no willpower whatsoever to try and fix the economy, fix the infrastructure, or to develop the country. Their eyes are simply on the loot, trying to get as much as they can before they are removed from power. So whilst they are focused on that, let us get together behind the scenes and strategize and hit them when they are least expecting it. Those are my opinions, Chief, on this fake news that is.
Thank you very much. And I can see you also still sincerely believe that strategic ambiguity should continue to be used so that we are not exposing what we are thinking, what we are planning to the public and also to Zanu PF. And I think I agree with you on that one.
Yes, yes. I think it has worked very well for us until elections. So we absolutely have to continue.
Yes, it has worked. So to our viewers and listeners across the world, if you want to join the discussion, let us know what you think about what we are talking about right now. What should Zimbabweans do? You've been seeing the fake news that has been going around. What do you think about it? Write in the comment section. If you want to join, you can also call us on my number chief in direct trade. I'm asking is 0+1 850 559 6287. I repeat the number again, +1 850 559 6287. Let us know what you think. You can also WhatsApp me and we'll read your messages right here. We just want to talk about this issue, and we educate each other, and we know where we are as Zimbabweans. We don't want to sit here and think and make ourselves believe and make everyone believe that Zimbabwe is going to be free next week. It's not going to happen. That's what everyone wants to hear, but it doesn't always happen like that. A struggle is a struggle. You should be prepared to be in this struggle for the longest time. If you think that Zimbabwe is going to be free yesterday, then we need to talk about that. We need to talk about that because we are here for the long haul, for whatever it takes, for how long it takes. But personally, I sincerely believe that we can finish the Zimbabwe struggle anytime, that day, that time, when we throw away our fear and say enough is enough as Zimbabweans, and each and every citizen does what they need to do. I'm telling you, that government will not take 2 days. If Zimbabweans just decide that today we are getting in the streets, today we are prepared to die to ensure that our country is free, I am telling you, those people will run away. Magara mnomziwa mnangagwa. Anotiza. Let me see here. I think there's someone calling, and I'm also seeing some messages that are coming in. Chief Zanu PF has created a lot of fake news, lying YouTubers and other new outlets to dominate social media and spread lies and fake news, which appeases CCC supporters and citizens in general. This is Zanu PF's strategy of managing any uprising from the CCC and the people of Zimbabwe. Impact of the above action. The person is still writing. I'm going to go back to the person who is writing, but I think this person, I don't know whether it's a he or a she, is agreeing on what we are saying here, that the fake news is meant to make Zimbabweans relax and think that everything is okay. SADC is going to come in and solve all our problems in one go. And when that happens, look at the effect of all that. When that happens, people relax. People that are talking about, that are supposed to be talking about demonstrations are no longer talking about demonstrations. People that are talking about, or that are supposed to be talking about stairways or shutdown are no longer talking about shutdown, because they think that there's been an easier solution. An easier solution is coming via SADC. And when that happens, people sit back at home. And when the days are coming by, when the days are passing by, Zanu PF is happy. When there is no noise in the country, when there are no protests in the country, when there is no one complaining, because people are no longer complaining because they think help is on the way. You know how it is when you're waiting for help. You know, you've had an accident, and you've called someone to come and help you. You sit, you relax, because you know that Tete Magi is going to come and help me and rescue me. Tete Magi is never going to come. If I may say that, if I may put it to my fellow Zimbabweans, Tete Magi, who is Sadak, is never going to come and help us. The onus is on us as Zimbabweans to do what we need to do, to tell each other the truth, to just say it as it is, that there is no help coming. We are the help that we are waiting for. Zimbabweans are the help that everyone is waiting for. Barbara, are you still there? Did you hear what this contributor has said? Okay, and there is more. They go on to say, I'm saying they because I don't know whether it's a she or a he. Someone is just responding. Thank you so much for the response. Anzi, this is ZANU-PF strategy of managing any uprising from the Tutsi and the people of Zimbabwe. The impact of all this is, one, immediate impact is that it has stopped meaningful conversations. This has halted CCC from coming up with meaningful and tangible strategies within leadership and the people in general. CCC organization has come to a standstill due to the peddling of this false hope, which has flooded the social media and made people believe that there is something positive that is coming. It has also stopped the growth of our struggle. This also includes the hired prophets who are prophesying fake change here. I like this one. All is being done so that you and I stop fighting and stop fighting back and stop our activism. There is one of our listeners who is writing, saying, confirming what we are discussing here, that this fake news is not good for us. The fake news is actually a deliberate manipulation of the citizens' mind by ZANU-PF. It's deliberate. It's a strategy. Remember, ZANU-PF has people that they pay that sit in the offices to just strategize on how to deal with the Zimbabwean people, but most importantly, on how they can deal with the opposition in Zimbabwe. They have people that are paid to do that. And those people are all over the world. They are in Zimbabwe, they are here in America, they are in Canada, they are everywhere because they have to be watching the mood of the people on the ground. They have to know what is happening in the United Kingdom. They have to know what Chief Jose and the people in North America are planning, and then they come up with a strategy. Right now, they know that the people are going to rise anytime. Zimbabwe is a volcano waiting to erupt. ZANU-PF know that, and they are already managing us before we even get there. Barbara, you heard what we were saying here. I'm not trying to answer a phone here. You can go ahead, Barbara or Estelle.
Yeah, Champion Barbara is dropped. She was having issues with her battery. It was low. But yes, I totally agree with what our listener who sent you a message is saying. ZANU-PF does have professional.
All right, Estella, let me interrupt you for a minute. We just have a caller here. Please go ahead, my brother, and tell us where you're calling from, or if you want to tell us your name, you can go ahead. If not, that's okay. But you are live on Change Radio.
Okay, my name is Shining.
Welcome to the program.
The first thing I want to say, thank you very much for bringing me to this auspicious space or platform for airing our views on what is happening in Zimbabwe. What is happening in Zimbabwe is heartbreaking. It is a country that was a breadbasket, Africa. When you go there now, I'm not living in Zimbabwe myself, but I go there sometimes. When I go there now, I'm heartbroken at the level of poverty, at the level of suffering, at the level of the lack of choices that our people have. Because where I come from, where I live, and it's not far from Zimbabwe, I live in the region, in the southern region, and I have a lot of choice. I can just drive to any filling station and get petrol. I can just drive to any shop and buy bread. I don't need to order. But that is no longer available in Zimbabwe. Because when you go there, you cannot even understand what the prices mean. And when you look at the people are really looking, what does this price mean? And me, I'm just taking things and saying, I need this, I need that. I'm putting in the basket because I can pay. And people are really looking because they can't pay. So, when we talk about, Zimbabwe right now, the first thing I would like to say to Zimbabwe is that we are SADC, and SADC is not coming. We're not going to stay like SADC. They just declared Sikeledi a winner. That is how you know that SADC is something else. I don't know how to describe them because, somehow the diplomats, somehow I cannot say who they are. But
so, my brother, what do you think about the news that we get every day on WhatsApp that is saying SADC is going to come in and install President Chamisa as the legitimate leader, and there's going to be a fresh election? What do you think about that, and what do you think is the impact of all that to the citizens?
You see, the thing is that I will not answer a question directly because somehow we will not understand when I answer directly. But I will tell you. For colonialism, is such the expression that colonialism has today. The colonialists needed the Africans to chant the colonial song. For Zanu to exert the power that they have on power today, they need people who genuinely believe in change in the opposition to chant the Zanu song. Do you know who are the people who say Chamisa is weak? It's not John Charam. No. John Charam says it once. The one who says it 1,000 times are the people that say that change Chamisa. So they've mastered that game of making sure that the oppressed are the ones that say that change is possible. They've mastered the game. They've mastered the game to say elections do not work. It's not Zanu that says that elections don't work. Actually, to go to Tirade, where I come from, we vote in numbers. Even with sugar cane, we vote and vote in Zanu. It is in Harad where Chamisa wins by 5,000. But in Tirade, we win by 30,000. That is the thing. The thing is that you've got to get the people that believe in change to actually not believe in change in action. So that's what's happening. So SADC is not coming, but what can we do? I think that is the question where I want to answer. What can we do? What can the change champions do?
Yes, what can we do?
This is the place where we start to fight you and me. Can our president stop speaking this and stop politics? You understand what I mean? We have Muten, we've got Makanji, we've got Magai, we've got Yubedenda to talk about this.
But my brother, you know, I think you're also swallowing ZANU-PF propaganda. I'm sorry to say that, because that's what ZANU-PF tells us. They tell us that your president is always talking about verses, and then everyone, gets hooked to that. What about the people of Zimbabwe? What about the citizens? What about you and me? What should we do to deal with this issue?
Me, what I can do is to ask if Chamisa can stop tweeting verses. Because if we go to my timeline, they're not going to stay.
Yeah, but is this struggle about Chamisa?
No, but he is the leader. This is the thing.
Let me tell you one thing, my brother. Let me tell you one thing. You know Che Guevara. Go and read about Che Guevara. Che Guevara said the people are looking for liberators. There are no liberators. Liberators do not exist. The people liberate themselves. This is what has happened with all the revolutions that we have seen everywhere. Why is it that people are trying to take away their responsibilities and pile it on one person that it has to be Chamisa who has to free Zimbabwe? There are no liberators. Chamisa is not a liberator. Nobody is a liberator. We must liberate ourselves.
Like I said, go to my timeline. I'm called Shining Midnight One. There's no single verse. That's when there's a good leader, the people are happy. There's no single verse like that. I speak truth. Even I was commenting on Padare today. To say, you see the problem in Zanu is that we have this mantra where everybody says that.
All right, my brother, there's another call coming in here. You can we can continue having the discussion on the comment section. I have to take this call so that others can also contribute. There we are, Zimbabweans. People come in with different opinions, and we respect that. But I don't think it is right and it is fair to take all the responsibilities of a whole nation and we pile it on one person. That if he does this, then Zimbabwe is going to be free. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That's exactly what we are having with SADC. That people think that SADC on their own are going to free Zimbabwe. And we still have people that think that President Chamisa is going to free Zimbabwe if he just wakes up one day and says, let's demonstrate. Did you know that he can say, let's get in the streets, and then the people of Zimbabwe will not show up, will not turn up in the streets? It doesn't happen like that. It's not a question of President Chamisa saying, this is what we are doing, and then it will happen. He is not a magician. He is no magician. This, has to come from the people. It has to start from, the people that are getting hurt, the people that are hungry, all of us together as a collective. We can't say it has to be a few people, a few individuals. And the way I was, taking it from my brother who was talking there, it's not even a few individuals or a few leaders. It's actually one leader. That if Chamisa does this, then Zimbabwe is going to be free. I don't think so. Stella, you can come in. Let me see if I have another text message.
Yes, I totally agree. There's no, liberator out there. What Zimbabwe is going through is a natural phase that every other country that has gained independence before us went through. If you look at the history of Zambia, you look at the history of Tanzania, Ghana, Kenya, all these countries which got their independence before us, they went through this phase where, as they started to take control of their industries, of their economy, because during colonial times they were not exposed to how all these things were managed, how all these things were run. So when they had to take over these systems, they had no idea what they were supposed to do or how they were supposed to do it. In our case, our leaders who took over were not even aware that they had the responsibility to develop our economy, to create new jobs, to develop our infrastructure, to create new accommodation as the population is growing. We went into independence with this mentality that, yes, now we are in charge of all the wealth of the country. Now we can also relax and enjoy. And until today, we are kind of suffering from that same mentality that We haven't woken up to the realization that life is a constant struggle. There is never a day that you wake up and you don't have to look for something to eat. You don't have to clean yourself up. You don't have to exercise. You don't have to do anything to sustain your life. It is the same for the country. There is never coming a day where you can just take it easy and things just develop and move forward on their own. Or we just wait for one person, as we did with Mugabe when we took over. We left everything in his hands and trusted and assumed that he knew what he was doing and he was going to take us to Canaan or the next place where we needed to go. But now the time has come that we have to really, really become independent, to grow as a nation, as a child who becomes independent at the age of 21, 22, 23. When you start to look for your own place where you pay your own rent and you earn your own money, you cook your own food, wash your own clothes, you do everything for yourself, then we say you are independent. But if you turn 21 and you're still living in your parents' home and they are still buying food and they are still cooking for you, doing everything for you and telling you what time you should come home, you are not yet independent, even though you have come of age to be independent. This is the situation we are in. We are not yet independent. Hatisi kuzvitonga, tichiri kutongwa, tichiri kuudzirwa ne few people. Ita izvi. And the izvozvo zvekuti Chamisa should tell us what to do is the same mentality. We still want to be told what to do, but we need to mature and get to that point that as adult people, as human beings who are faced with the reality of life, you realize that you have to do something. Hakuna munhu anodyira mumwe munhu, mumwe oguta. Everybody has to be part of this for this to work, and it has to be something that is sustainable. Kuti, starting from now, everyone plays their role in ensuring that our leaders are held to account, that the decisions and the laws that are being made are beneficial to each one of us. It is my responsibility to check, Kuti, are these laws which are being made beneficial to me and my children? There is no other person who can check for me. Kuti, am I being counted in? Am I being sustained by my government? The person who refuses to come to the table and ensure that they're getting their fair share will go without. We cannot wait for one person and expect that he should know the needs of every single person, disabled, women, old, in different, people in different phases or different lifestyles. It is the only way that we can free ourselves and develop our country and sustain it is when everyone is taking it as their personal responsibility to see that they are counted and they are not being disadvantaged and fighting for their rights. This mentality of waiting kuti tiitirwe as if tiri vana vadiki is just, and especially for my brothers, I lose so much respect when I hear a man saying, expecting that another man should free him and his family and his children. It really disturbs me, and I think, okay, us as mothers, are we failing to raise men who know their places? Men,
I think you're failing.
and this was I think us as women, we have to come together and discuss this and fix this. We are failing to raise men who know what it means to be a man. Being a man is not about kupua msana nechidya, having your own special seating on the India Baba. No. Those are the
You also need to go back to the maternity and give birth to real men who are able to stand up and fight them.
Yes, and raise them. We have to instill in them that sense of manliness, that pride in being a man. Kuti, I'm the provider. I'm the protector of my family. Kwete kuti ukumirira kuti nhai baba vanhingi sei vasiri kuuya kuzondinunura kuzoprovida family yangu. Aiwa izvozvo. As women, no, we should not stand by and allow.
That's mazotigona. Varume mazvinzwerogo. To all the men that are listening.
Ava pandiri kutaura nevakamirira vacho.
Baba next door kuti vaizogadzirisa dambudziko riri kuitika mumba menyu.
Ndokuzopuhwa mwana ipapo. Handiti chief. Yes, so
Zimbabwean men, you just heard it. This is very interesting, and it has to come from you, Champion Estella, because you know that's what I think. You know, but you just hit the nail on the head right there. Why is it other men are waiting for other men, or for one man to carry the burden of this struggle? And to be honest, Zimbabweans, we're not protecting President Chamisa here. He has to do what he has to do. That's the truth. And he must do what he has to do if Zimbabwe is going to be free. Just like you have to do what you have to do. Just like me, I have to do what I have to do. It's all of us. It has to be collective action. But let's not take away or shift the responsibility of what we need to do as citizens to one individual, to one man of all the men that are here. Anyway, I just got another message here from Kudzi, a CC supporter. He's saying, "Hi Chief, all this fake news is part of a broader strategy by a desperate regime to cling on to power. These coordinated, inauthentic online campaigns are reminiscent of Russian disinformation strategies, which are sadly being used on citizens of Zimbabwe. It is imperative for communications team of the CCC to counter these moves and push forward a democratic and forward-planning narrative with a clearly laid out agenda. Removal of Zanu-PF from power, period." To this CC supporter, I totally agree with you there, my brother. We can talk about anything. We can spend hours here. But the real issue, folks, is about Zanu-PF, that we need to strategize and get Zanu-PF out of power. I think who was this pastor who always used to use this term, that muningo ini mwana aita tsvina, and then vanhu moita basa rekungobvisa nhunzi, muchingonina nhunzi, that's not going to resolve the issue. Tinogona kutandanisana ugotandanisana nenhunziyo, wonosvika uko pauri kudzoka imwe nhunzi inenge yapo futi dzotouya dzakatowanda. Saka what we are seeing right now is exactly what that pastor was describing, kuti ngatiregedzei kutandanisana nenhunzi, ngatitarisei dambudziko riri kuitika chairo, dambudziko nderekuti mwana azviitira tsvina. Saka isi tofanira kudii? Tofanira kubvisa tsvina yacho. Mwana haasiri dambudziko, nhunzi hadzisiridzo dambudziko, tsvina yaiswa iyo, tsvina iripo iyo, tsvina panyaya iyi iZanu-PF ndeyatofanira kubvisa iyoyo. Tikabvisa tsvina iyoyo, mwana anosara anaka, Zimbabwe yedu inosara yanaka. Saka we need to remain focused. We need to focus on getting rid of Zanu-PF, on removing Zanu-PF. No, let's not be put into some kind of relaxation. And we are told every day that SADC is going to come. SADC is coming. SADC is going to free us. SADC is going to free nobody. SADC is going to free no country. It has never done that. Of course, they did very well. They did extremely well. HH did extremely well with Zimbabwe. But we, the people of Zimbabwe, did not compliment what SADC did not compliment what HH did. We thought SADC will just do everything for us. And then there on a silver plate, a new great Zimbabwe is there. It doesn't work like that. So until we do it ourselves, until we teach each other, we educate each other to the extent that we know that All of us have responsibilities. Let's not shift responsibilities to other people. You're seeing here, like Estella is saying, men are shifting responsibility to another man. That Chamisa is the one who has to do everything. He has to do all the heavy lifting, and then boom, a new great Zimbabwe is there. It doesn't happen like that. We must know that every one of us has a responsibility, and we need to do something. And 2024 has to be that year where we all decide to do something. 2024 must be a year of action in Zimbabwe, and even here in the diaspora. We must be sleeping on the embassies, every embassy. We must shut down the embassy. We must all be there. Let's not have a situation where a demonstration is called in the United Kingdom and only 20 people show up and they are busy saying that Zimbabwe must be free, Zimbabwe has to be free. It has to be everyone. When we say let's have a demonstration in Washington, D.C., or in Canada, or in Germany, or in South Africa, let's have all the citizens showing up. That's what's going to free Zimbabwe. And I'm telling you, once that happens, that government will not last 7 days. And then also our champions in Zimbabwe do the same. I know there's the people, we're dealing with a ruthless regime. People are going to get killed, people are going to get injured, but that's the nature of any struggle. It has to come to that. It must, it has to come to that. What else is there? Vakakudza kudhara ana mutsvangwa kuti hatisi kuzombofa takakupai nyika iyi, hatikupei nyika itorwe neball point. They told you, they told us. So let's be prepared to do something as Zimbabweans, as individuals, and make sure that we free our own country, because nobody is going to do it for us if we don't do it for ourselves. Estella, you can come back again and say your last words to the men in Zimbabwe.
I would actually like to address one of them.
Give us some more. Maybe we'll wake up with all the men wanting to do something.
Yes, I would actually like to address one of them who wrote this message on the screen, Shining Midnight One, who is joining us from X, from former Twitter. His earlier message says, it is a shame and a pity when I have two people grown trying to explain away the role of leadership. And then he again says, now leaders are equal to followers, only in CCC. And I'm so happy you noted that, because that is what needs to happen. Leaders have to be actually not equal to followers, but they have to be less than followers. Leaders are servants. Leaders are employees who are employed by the people. When we go to elections and we elect our leaders, our MPs, our councillors, and our presidents, we are not electing them to boss it over us. There's no one who goes and elects someone to say, I want you to come and boss me around and push and terrorize me. We are electing them to serve us. We should be their bosses. They need to see us as their bosses. They need to compete among themselves to please us so that we elect them. That is the order of politics, which can bring us the kind of progress that we all want as a country. As long as we see our leaders as above us, as you want, Shining Midnight One, our leaders will always treat us like less than themselves, and they will always take advantage of us and use our systems, our institutions, and our resources to oppress us. The only way that we can turn things around and have our leaders serving us is to get to that point where we stop seeing them as our bosses and get them to understand that we are their bosses. We are the ones who can hire and fire them. I hope you understand, my brother, Shining Midnight. Stop making yourself less of a man, requiring another man to be above you, and you keep seeing another man as better than yourself, as greater than yourself. step into your manhood, claim your rights to be seen as an equal to other men. Don't submit yourself under another man. It's okay for us women. The Bible says we should submit to men, but you as a man should not submit to another man. Where do you get that commandment from? Give back our apa ndiri kutaura hangu nashining midnight one uyu ndiane point yake yaunzi yekuti hanzi leaders are equal to followers only in CCC, as if it's a bad thing. Hanti president Shamisa ndo zvavakazviitira kuti kunyange kurali vanonogara kune vanhu havachada zvekunzi bosi because ndo zvinoita kuti vanhu vati abuse, vanotoona sevanhu vavo. They have to see us as equals. And in fact, not as equals, but as their bosses, then they will serve us. And the Bible says it. The one who is great should serve. You only become great by serving. The greatest musician is only the greatest musician because his music has served the greatest number of people. Anna Michael Jackson, they are great because a lot of people love their music. They serve through their music. The greatest doctor or inventor is only great because their inventions have served the most people. If you have a great gift, but you don't serve anyone, no one is going to see your greatness. Your greatness is only manifested in serving. So if our leaders are great, they must serve. If they are to be great leaders, they must serve. They must not see us as less than themselves or as their people or even as their equals. They must see us as their bosses whom they serve.
Powerful closing words from Estella there. I can't add anything to what you've just said. It's homework to all men that are here. Every man who is listening, please stop shifting responsibility to another man. You are the man. You should be doing something. You should be leading the way, not asking one man to do something when you're not doing anything. That's not the way it works. People of Zimbabwe, it has been great. 1 hour with you. And it's the 1st of January 2024. Beginning another era, and as I said, this year 2024 must be a year of action. We all must be forward thinking. We all must be thinking of freeing Zimbabwe and playing our part in that process. And I can tell you, it is possible. We can free ourselves. We can free Zimbabwe. It doesn't take days. It will not take days. If we organize ourselves, tozvipira kuti ndozvadakuda kuita pano, I'm telling you, Emerson Mnangagwa will not last a day. Those people have looted. They have money everywhere. They have billions of dollars. They want to enjoy those billions of dollars. They don't want to spend their time fighting or in prison or somewhere. They will run away. We just need to do what we need to do as Zimbabweans. And I sincerely believe that it is going to happen in 2024, but it's not going to happen through SADC or through the actions of SADC alone. It's going to happen through the commitment, collective commitment from all Zimbabweans. And then when we do that, SADC will come in. And then when we do that, even the UN will come in. And then when we do that, even all the other countries, America, UK, they will not leave us to die in the streets of Harare or Bulawayo. They will come in, but they are not going to start anything for us. America cannot go and start a war in Zimbabwe. They cannot go and start a demonstration or a mass protest in Zimbabwe. That has to come from us, the people of Zimbabwe. And of course, forget about the fake news. Talk to your people, talk to your folk. I told you my experiences with my mother here, that she sincerely believed that there are going to be fresh elections in June. and she was pinning her hopes on that, to the extent that she called me and said, why don't you talk to President Chamisa so that those impending elections are done in February instead of June? So she sincerely believes that there is another election in June. All this is being crafted by, of course, Zanu PF, spreading fake news, using some youth on social media, on YouTube, everywhere else, so that they mislead the people of Zimbabwe. Not only mislead, but also give false hope to the people of Zimbabwe, so that you don't talk about protest, you don't talk about a sham election, you don't talk about an illegitimate leader, because you know that that illegitimate leader is going to be removed next week by Padare. So we stop doing what we are supposed to be doing because of the fake news. And everyone who is listening, stop spreading the fake news, because us Zimbabweans, we actually help Zanu PF. Zanu PF manufactures the fake news, and us we start posting it, continually posting it on our groups. Even on CC groups, you see people posting such misleading information, and you ask someone, why are you posting this information? Do you think this information is going to help this group? No, chief, let out of Bundobuti, there's a chokwade. Which you post up a group, and then you're giving that information to some people that don't even know about the struggle, that joined the struggle yesterday. I'm telling you, they will swallow that propaganda, hook, line, and sinker, and they'll start believing whatever Zanu PF is doing. So be careful, watch what the people post on your groups. Control, it's not even control. You're managing the information that the people in your group are being made to consume. Because there's no point in us having a CC group and then we are having Zanu PF propaganda material being peddled on those groups. It doesn't make sense. If you're going to call someone a dictator, if you're going to call someone, someone who doesn't allow, free expression, then so be it. But we can't have in our groups of like-minded people, and then we have Zanu PF information that we know that has been created by Zanu PF. Even sometimes you see information that is castigating our own leaders in a very bad way. We're not saying our leaders should not be criticized. They should be criticized. But you see some information that is so malicious, and you wonder, what is the person trying to achieve? What kind of information are you sharing on this group? So let's be careful. Let's remain vigilant. Zanu PF is out there. They are everywhere. Even FAST is here in the diaspora. Some people think that FAST is in Zimbabwe only. When you start seeing in your group, when you're having issues, when you're having problems, when you're having people fighting each other, look at the cause. Look into the one person or two people that are almost every time causing issues to erupt in your group. Be careful about people. Let's remain vigilant in 2024. Let's be prepared to fight for our freedom. Let's be prepared to do whatever it takes as Zimbabwe to ensure that Zimbabwe is free. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Until we meet again in other programs, God bless you. Happy New Year to everyone.
Yes, let me talk page. All right. Vanavenya vaZimbabwe vachiri kunyunyuta. Vapararira kwese kwese kutsvaka maguta. Mungoti ndakamhina mumwe kwati wakabvuta. Vari kuwana kuyameza vari kuguta. Ndakatsikisa damba refu yureka. Paredhiyo kwamanga kuti iro ridzaweka. Finish it. want to finish it. I want you to pay attention. Once for every time. All right. Manene nyebesi bade bajiri kunyinyuta. Bafarira kwese kutaka makuta. Mungoti nakawina mungoti wakaputa. Bali kuwana mbuyane hada bali mukuta. Takatikisa dabare yureka. Baleti yobona mabati ironitaweka. Takati manotoba zeba pupine kureba. Mumonyira mahanzi iyo wakaimba weka.
Mitä pimeämpi